It's time for Taste Appeal. You know, veggie burgers, they don't have to be bland, frozen bricks.
So today, we're going to show you how to pack them with flavor, and here to show us how to do it, personal chef Bill Collins, chefbill.com is the website. Veggie burgers, these look really good, because normally I'm not a veggie burger guy.
You know, veggie burgers can be an acquired taste, which is why you can make these to any taste that you want. This basic recipe I got from Peg Tibbetts from Harvest Market in Amherst, and it's such a great recipe that you can make it any flavor. The foundation is what sets this apart, because most veggie burgers, they're often black beans or some other kind of beans. They could be tofu, quinoa, you name it. These have a combination of things. These have black beans, and I've cooked up some squash. I did a butternut squash, and I just cut it into small pieces. You can buy it frozen and roast it up that way. But then what you want to do is just mash it.
And you're mashing it. I do see is that kidney beans or black beans?
These are black beans that I'm using here. And so you just want to mash it up. And the thing is, the great thing about the squash is not only does it add more vegetables, but it adds a filler almost. So it's going to stretch it along, but it's also going to give it a nice texture. And that's the thing that you really want to have is a good texture.
Is that all that's in that right now is squash and black beans?
Yes, but also I've put in here I already sauteed some onion, jalapeno pepper, not too much of a bite, but a bit of a bite, and a little garlic. So that you've got the foundation. Now, to give it a different kind of flavor, and you go any flavor you want, I've got some chili powder, some cumin, and coriander. I also have some chopped up pistachios. And so that's going to give it a nice nutty flavor. You can use walnuts, you can use whatever nuts, or if there's a nut allergy, you can skip them all together.
Okay, that's true. When you're making it yourself, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly, and I've got quinoa here, which is one of the ancient grains that's also a great source of protein. See, that's the thing about veggie burgers, is if you're not eating meat, or if you're a vegetarian, you need to come up with vegetable sources of protein. And this has the quinoa, it's got the black beans, so this is just tons of protein.
I think a lot of people think of veggie burgers as something that only vegetarians eat because it's a substitute for a burger. I love to eat meat burgers, but I actually really love veggie burgers too.
And that's exactly it, because I think if you're going into it expecting something that's going to taste like a hamburger, but isn't, you're going to be disappointed, because, well, that's why beef tastes like beef.
Right. So
this way you can get a very nice texture. It's not dried out as some of the ones can be, and you can get that flavor you want. And I agree, I like a hamburger, but I also like whether you're having a meatless day of the week or...
well, it's great now for the Lenten season.
Exactly. So you've got everything covered, and again, you get the flavor you want. Now, what we also have now is we've got the texture we want. So I'm going to add a little oil here. Don't need much, just a little skim coat, because there's nothing in here to cook.
It's all cooked already.
Right.
Exactly. So it's not like if you have egg in there. So what I would do is I would just roll it into a ball. And
you mind if I get dirty with it?
Please do.
All right.
Living the dream. So. So this way, you just roll it into a ball like that, and then just flatten to a patty any size you want. And the oil's hot, and just heating it through.
There we go.
And so you can freeze the burgers as you want. That looks much better than what I did.
Would you freeze them after you saute it, or after you saute it, after you brown it?
You can do it either way. But this way, well, an advantage of doing it without sauteing it is once it thaws out and you can heat up, you'll have a nice crust on it. If you're reheating, you can still reheat it in a skillet, but it might be dried out a little bit.
Oh, that's true.
They just keep getting bigger.
You know, this is a former job of mine. I used to do stuff like this.
So, and you do it well.
You have a big appetite.
Also that.
So now it's just a matter of heating it through. You do it over a medium-ish temperature. Again, you don't need that much oil, and you're just browning it and heating it through. And from here, you can go any way you want. I like to serve it on a burger roll. You can put cheese on it. I happen to have I made a little Thousand Island dressing. We've got some roasted peppers, and you could really give it any flavor you want. Now, just to back up a little bit, a really nice thing about having it this way, this has a bit of a spicy, but not too heavy. You got some chili powder and cumin. If you don't like those, you can just go with salt and pepper, maybe some oregano. You go with fresh thyme, some fresh basil. You can give it an Italian kind of theme with some of those, again, fresh basil and oregano, and maybe a little mozzarella in there. Anything you want.
But if
I'm
nothing
gonna get
else,
creative.
I think this is a great base because you got some vegetables in there, and then you have the beans and the quinoa, and those are your protein sources.
Exactly.
And then from there, you can do whatever you want.
And so consider that if you want to make the comparison to the beef. You've got your hamburger, and then you can give it any flavor you want.
That's true.
It's the same thing. You've got that nice foundation, you've got the nice texture, and then you're good to go.
Well, Chef Bill, we have a finished product over there.
I happen to have one right here.
And
So-
this looks pretty good.
Look at that.
And,
With the...
and so why don't we we can dive into this.
Sure.
And actually,
yes.
and I left my knife over there.
That's okay.
That's
So
okay.
you
that
have
means
to
I'll
have
have
one.
the whole thing.
There's
Oh,
no knife
darn.
here.
So you
There's
can
no
take
knife.
a bite out of either. Actually,
Grab a
if you'd
full
like
bite,
to take
Ashley.
a bite. And
Really? Are you sure?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Now this is homemade Thousand
Homemade
Island
Thousand
dressing.
Island dressing.
Don't know where to start.
Just take a big bite.
It's a mouthful.
Get dirty. It's okay. You're only on television.
And it's how messy could it possibly be? And you can also
you might want to zoom in on all the Thousand Island dressing all around.
and you can see that there's nice browning on top, a nice crustiness to it,
Love
This
it.
is so good.
and very messy. It's fun to eat. Fun to eat messy
I
food.
don't care. That's okay.
There you
Chef
go.
Bill, thank you so
I'll
much
keep eating.
for stopping by. Once again, it's going to be on our website, mymasterfield.com.